from Minnetonka High School. It's 12 sports coverage of girls high school soccer. And tonight we have a great one for you, a late conference battle between the home team Minnetonka Skippers and the defending state champs, the Wayzata Trojans. Hi, welcome everybody. Along with Sig Lagery, I'm Joe Moline. And Sig, this is a great matchup here. These two teams faced earlier in the year, tied 1-1. They come in tonight trying to get the better end of each other.
Absolutely, and it's important for the standings coming up for sectionals as to who gets the best seeding. Both teams, as we said, they were tied. They tied last game 1-1. Minnetonka comes in with a 7-0-2 record. Wayzata brings in a 6-2 record. Both teams are, on paper, very, very talented, loaded with seniors. So it's going to be a great match.
For Wayzata, a lot of expectations as they enter the season. Defending state champs, one of their top scorers, a Division I recruit coming back. A lot of expectations on this Wayzata team. They've had a couple of trip-ups, but they're really trying to play their best soccer now as they head to the second half of the schedule.
Well, absolutely, and this is where you want to get your team together to play your best soccer to get ready for the end of the season, because that's what's important, is how you look at the end of the season, how you stand in the seedings.
Minnetonka, along with Wayzata, very stingy defense. Both teams have 6 shutouts on the year, but it's been that great defense that has the Skippers undefeated at this point.
Absolutely, and we're going to see it tonight again to see how they stand up against a very potent, very good shooting Wayzata team with some good scorers.
Take a look at our featured players for tonight's game. For Wayzata, one of the top players around in Kylie Schwartz, just a great goal scorer.
Well, it's a familiar name if you've been watching soccer in this area from Wayzata. Number 12, Kylie Schultz, senior midfielder, 14 goals, 0 assists, but 14 goals in the year. That's outstanding.
And for Minnetonka, we focus on Kelly Stock, and there's a couple of good forwards for this Minnetonka team, but she also leads the team in scoring for her squad.
Absolutely. Number 5, she's a senior forward. We have 5 goals, 2 assists. Look for her to set the ball up, try to put some pressure on the Wayzata defense.
A great matchup. The second time these two teams face, they could meet again in the playoffs. A late conference battle, and we will kick it off in just moments here at Minnetonka High School.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
And welcome back to Minnetonka High School soccer underneath the lights on a nice cool fall night. You see the 7-0-2 Minnetonka Skippers and the 6-2-1 Wayzata Trojans, a great late conference matchup. Second meeting between these two teams this season. They tied 1-1 earlier in the year, a game in which we were told that Wayzata probably controlled a little bit more of the play, but the Minnetonka came away happy after that matchup because they came back, fought strong, and earned that 1-1 tie.
And that's the way you got to do it. You can have all the statistical advantage that you want on paper for ball control, shots on goal, and that sort of thing. But the scoreboard is the only contributor for the finale of that. So we'll see how they do in this match. I'm sure they've been looking at what they did in the last game when they tied and tried to correct those errors, if you want to call them errors, and play a tighter game. As teams come out, Minnetonka in all white, Wayzata in their all blue with gold trim.
Madeline Eklund with the opening touch for the Trojans, and we're underway. Ball works near side to Cannon Nickel, who goes backwards with it. Now a pass up ahead. Fielding that one is Summer Johnson. Johnson trying to get some space between her and the defender along the near side line. Stays inbounds for the time being, but then gets the touch out. Wayzata ball, throw in to the Trojans. Johnson throws it in. Now turnover right there as Tonka comes away with it. It's Kelly Stacken, who we highlighted in the opening, leading scorer for the Skippers this year. Minnetonka plays it up to midfield. Here come the Skippers now with it. Maggie Christ. Christ trying to put it all the way through the defense, and this one goes a little bit too far for her intended target. It's a throw in for the Trojans. Skippers control now. That one went under the leg of Chris. Maggie Chris runs it down now, tries to play near side. And it's controlled momentarily by the Trojans, and here comes Kylie Schwartz with it. Up and out into the Skippers' end.
It's a 2-on-3, or it's a 2-on-4 actually. So Wayzata not able to get a good offensive set there. Minnetonka trying to get ball control and make their attack. However, that's turned over.
Skippers retain possession here by going backwards with it to one of the defenders who pops it up in the air. That was Maggie Bizzani. Now Wayzata controls to the near side of the field. Having it taken away there is Svensson. Svensson tries to run it down, but the race is won by Minnetonka's Ellen Mao. Mao gives it off now. Here comes Maggie Christ with it. Christ puts it all the way through and on goal, and we get our first look there at Mara Doherty, thought to be one of the better keepers in the state of Minnesota this year.
The battle for the ball in midfield.
Here comes a good race for the ball, and out to play it is Lizzie Christ as she finds some safety and really gets into one. Chris did a good job of coming out of her net there to make that play. Now race for the ball. Maggie Christ on it for the Tonka Skippers. Played it to the far side. Wayzata controlled. High ball there being fielded by Madeline Eklund of Wayzata, who played it forward. Come the Trojans into the attack area. Summer Johnson, a little bit too far for her, and it's chased down and put out of the zone by Bizzani for the Skippers. Minnetonka defending well there as Mao puts it up across right into the possession of Wayzata. Wayzata turns it back now. Across midfield into Minnetonka territory. Wayzata still with possession as Marika Kelly has it. Kelly gave it off now to Mao. Pardon me, Summer Johnson. To the near side for Eklund. Up in the air it goes and played out there by Kroll for the Skippers. Winning the race to the ball there on the far side is Schwartz. Schwartz plays it right into the middle of the heart of the defense to Kelly. Kelly pounces it forward. Race for the ball on the near side. Won by the Trojans, trying to cut across 1-on-2 was Nickel, but Nickel ran out of real estate. Oh, here comes a turnover and a chance for Wayzata. A shot right on. And it goes in. Nice rebound. Schwartz with the initial shot. And following up the rebound, I believe is going to be Summer Johnson. Summer Johnson, who coming into this ball game did not have a goal in the season. Someone that they said that scoring had to pick up for Wayzata. Look at her get after this rebound. Good hustle by Johnson. Right spot, right time.
Here we see it again. Nice save initially. Then the ball comes out, and there are no other defenders back there to clear it out for them. As Johnson comes in and takes the easy shot, with the assist going into Schwartz, making it 1-0 at the 4-minute mark.
Initial save made by Lizzie Christ, but couldn't control the rebound well enough, and Johnson was all over it. And I talked to Coach Tony Pesnecker of Wayzata before the game, and he said he really wanted to see the diversity of scoring pickup. Schwartz has been carrying the load, 14 of the team's 19 goals. He said they needed more variety. And Summer Johnson is someone he actually pointed to who had 6 goals a year ago, but none so far this year, and she gets a big one here tonight.
And that is actually so atypical of the Wayzata girls teams that we've seen in the past few years, or several years, as Tony Pesnecker likes to have the scoring diversified amongst multiple players. He likes to have all players have a chance in scoring rather than having 1 or 2 super scorers.
And Sig, you're exactly right. That's exactly what he said to me, was that I've never seen anything like this where we're playing pretty good soccer, but only one person is putting the ball in the back of the net, and he kind of wanted that to change here in the second half of the regular season and into the playoffs.
Yeah, this is the key time to do it. As we were talking, you want your teams to peak, so absolutely distribute the scoring to the other players. That means they have to get more involved and get some more passing.
Minnetonka allowing that goal, only the 4th goal allowed all season long. They have a couple of nice conference victories, a 1-0 win over Edina and 1-0 win over Eden Prairie in the last couple of weeks, shutting out good quality opponents, and even a 0-0 tie against Hopkins. Only their 2nd goal given up in conference play, and again, their 4th goal given up on the year. Minnetonka back on the offense now. This one gets put through on goal. Doherty handles it cleanly and gets that one out of danger.
But that's what you want to see from your keeper. When a hard shot comes in, get your hands up there, bat the ball down, keep it in front of you, maintain control.
Rebecca Thorson plays it forward for the Skippers. Bounced up in the air there by Schulz of Wayzata. Up to the near side it goes for Eklund. Eklund across to the middle to Nickel. Comes Nickel. She plays it up the wing. Svensson plays it forward. And the Skippers will gain control as they play to midfield. Now pulling it down there is Schwarz. Schwarz for the Trojans. Maintaining control through traffic. And finally the Tonka Skippers push it away as Volzberg was on the defense. Wayzata getting control now. Nickel. Had it taken away, however. Volzberg to the middle. Pounded forward, and out of her net comes Mara Doherty to handle that one for Wayzata. Trojans lead 1-0 on an early goal on a rebound by Summer Johnson, her 1st goal of the year. 2 assists coming into the game. Early conference play this year, Minnetonka in 1st place with 2-0-2 record. Wayzata in 2nd place with a 2-1-1 record in conference play.
So Wayzata right behind them, and Minnetonka wants to hang on to that lead to get an advantage in the section seedings coming up actually in a few weeks. Minnetonka wants to get back in the game, tie it up, and have control in their home turf.
It's a good defensive effort there for Wayzata's Erica Grindy. And Erica Grindy on the throw-in now. Here comes a nice through ball all the way down. Johnson racing after it with 2 Skippers on her heels, and they're going to say she was offsides.
See the assistant referee standing in front of us holding the flag. That's Todd Anderson, it's AR1. Mark Phillipson is AR2, and the center referee is Ron DeBorax.
So the Skippers on the free kick.
Nice long kick. Headed out by the defense. Peggy Chris getting it back in again.
Race for the ball on the far side. Minnetonka will gain possession.
Reverse direction and try and get the offense going. Here they come.
Mishandling the ball there was one of the Skipper players, and here comes Wayzata. Now they miscommunicate, and Christ right back into the play to gain possession. Christ over to Volksberg, who pounds it into the Wayzata territory, and Doherty will come out to get it.
Here's a good look at the keeper. Mara Doherty.
Doherty, key member of that state championship team last year. You've seen her play plenty of times, Sig.
Absolutely. Looking down the roster, with there's about 14 seniors on this Wayzata team. And looking at the names, they're very, very familiar. Wayzata, of course, was such a great program, and their soccer program has been just outstanding for a long, long time. Minnetonka also has been their main arch rivals for years.
Well, they're such good rivals in just a variety of sports, and that includes girls soccer. And A lot of times when you get through if you're Wayzata and you get through Minnetonka and vice versa, Minnetonka through Wayzata, you've gotten past one of your more stronger competitions that there are in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't seem to matter what the rankings are or what the records are when these two teams play each other. It's hard.
You saw Maggie Christ there, sophomore midfielder for Minnetonka, put a shot on that bounced, and Doherty handled that one cleanly. Wayzata will push this one out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Skippers. Just over 10 minutes into this one. Pretty good pace to the game so far. Wayzata with a 1-0 lead, but they really haven't had the territorial advantage. I think the ball has been at midfield, if not a little bit on their side.
Yeah, it's been back and forth, and that's a sign of two good teams, two quality teams. The fast pace, not too many balls being pushed over the touchline, and end-to-end action. Of course, both teams are very good on defense. It's tough to get past them.
Thorson with the throw in to Nickel. Nickel gets away from one defender. Nice pass to the middle. This shot comes from pretty far out there. Not getting much leg on that one was Margaret Rocca. Good setup, though, however, for the Trojans. And you see Lindsay Christ there, the keeper for Minnetonka, pushing that one out past center. It goes off Trojans, and it'll be a throw-in for Minnetonka. There you see the head coach of Wayzata,
Tony Pesnicker, sitting alongside his assistant, Becky Berkey.
He's been around for a little while, 23 years.
Yeah, he's been the stalwart of the Wayzata girls program. Foul called against Wayzata, first of the match.
Yeah, you talk about Wayzata, the girls soccer program being around for 23 years. You can imagine he's seen quite a difference in the not only talent level of the girls, but the amount of girls that have soccer playing experience, the number of girls that come out for the team each year.
Oh, absolutely. And I've also seen through the years that there's been such a tremendous change in the quality of other teams. It used to be 2 or 3 schools would have the domination in girls soccer. Then in the last 10 years, it's been almost equal. I mean, a lot of teams who were weak before are now strong.
So really a chance there for Minnetonka, and Wayzata will just kick it out of bounds to avoid the trouble.
Tight, girls, tight!
And there we have Jeff Hopkins sitting on the left side. That's head coach of the Minnetonka Skippers, along with Kelly Taylor and Scott Storley, the assistant coaches.
Coach Hopkins, when talking to him before the game, proud of his team, the way that they've battled this year, proud of everything they've done, but knows that there's just a test each and every conference game and section game waiting.
Oh, yes, that's true. And of course, when you have a good record like they do, they become targets, and everybody gets a little bit more excited when they play Minnetonka because they want to take them off that pedestal.
One game he was particularly happy about was the 1-0 victory over Edina at Edina on September 11th. It was the first time in his 5 years that they have beat the Hornets. A nice big win on the road for the Skipper program.
And the Skipper program undefeated, 7 wins, 0 losses, and 2 ties.
Johnson with control now for Wayzata. She plays it through. Racing after it is Kelly. Marika Kelly won't catch up to that one because Thorson comes over to get it for the Skippers, who plays it back to the keeper, Chris. And Chris puts it well into Wayzata territory. Nice job keeping that maintaining control. Here comes Stacken into the zone. And we have a whistle.
Obviously a foul against Minnetonka.
Well, Stacken thought she was going to have a break there. And it was a foul probably on Stacken.
That evens up the fouls at 1 apiece.
Stacken 5 goals, 2 assists, leading the team with 7 points this year. Minnetonka, despite their record, hasn't put a lot of points on the scoreboard. They won their last game 6-0. That was only second time all year where they scored over 2 goals in a game. They also beat St. Louis Park 3-1 earlier in the year, and that was their other highest output. So they've won a couple of real tough matches, 1-0. Not a lot of goalkeeping, good defense, goal scoring rather, great goalkeeping.
Yep. When you have a good hot keeper, that's what wins games for you, especially near the end of the season.
Wayzata now with the throw-in. It'll be Nickel. Nickel gets it back now on the near side. Quickly pressured by the defense. She'll get some help and go backwards with it. And that's Svensson who puts it toward the direction of the net. Skippers turn around and Maggie Crisp puts it out for a moment, but now Wayzata right back on the attack. A race for the ball on the far side. Bach in the first one there for the Skippers, and she'll push out of bounds. Wayzata on the throw-in now. Trojans trying to get something going. Pretty good possession here. Now they put it from a great distance toward the direction of the net, but this one goes wide. And it will be a goal kick for the Skippers.
Lizzie Crisp backing up, getting ready for the kick. And sends it almost midfield, intercepted by the Trojans.
Race for the ball there. Control by the Trojans. Going to the near side for it. Waiting there for it there was Nickel. Nickel, nice little move to get away from the defender. Here comes Nickel, puts on the brakes, looking for some help now. Being defended by Volksberg. Now she's going to get double teamed there for a moment. Played it just forward, just in time. Here comes the cross. Nobody home there for the Trojans. It was just off target. Intercepting was Kroll.
Nice crossing pass, but as you said, no one home to set that one back in again. Here we see it again. Nice cross right there, and nobody home. Just misdirected. They had 3 players, but not quite in the right place.
That was Kelly on the feed. Here comes Mao for Minnetonka, rather Stacken rather. Mao chasing after it, number 6 there for the Skippers. And this one a little bit too far for the Trojans and out of bounds as Rocca couldn't catch up to it. Up and over her head, Kroll goes with it. Skipper's there to control. Mao into the middle looking for Stacken. Here comes Stacken racing after it. Stacken into the heart of the defense, cut back right against the grain there as the Trojans were coming back into the play.
Still has control. Trojans haven't gotten it out yet.
Ooh, good defensive posture there by Schwartz, using the hips to get in the way of the Skippers.
That's one of the better offensive attacks that the Skippers have had.
A little bit of a scramble there, and now Wayzata will finally get it out and get a breather as Rocca plays it out. Minnetonka putting some pressure now on the Trojans on the throw-in. Over to Orlowski. Over to Kroll. Kroll to Mao. Mao trying to get through 2 Trojan defenders and just can't catch up to it.
And the defense watches that go over the touchline. It'll be a goal kick for Doherty. Good offensive play that time by the Skippers, putting some pressure on the Wayzata defense.
You saw the Skippers had a little bit of time there and were being a little bit elusive, but that's when the Wayzata double team would come. They'd come and get 2 defenders on that ball, and that would help alleviate some of the pressure. Here comes Summer Johnson, came down with that one. Now Johnson, looking there in the middle, and a little bit too hard for Eklund.
Yeah, I think she was just not quite right in the position where she wanted to be in. Here come the Skippers. Nice transition down the field from defense to offense.
Orlowski on the far side. Orlowski fakes the cross, now gets it through, and they score! Orlowski put it through, and then putting it in for Minnetonka was Ellen Mao, sophomore forward for the Skippers. And for Mao, it's going to be her 4th goal of the year. Look at the determination to get to this soccer ball.
Watching the defense, sees where she get her shot off. There's heavy traffic and gets right past Doherty on the inside. Here we see it again. Good pursuit. Gets a shot off and puts it away. So Mao with the goal. And we'll check for the assist.
It's going to be Arlovsky on the assist. She got the cross in there. But great effort there from Minnetonka. You've seen both goals now, and they've just been kind of two forwards willing to get down and dirty.
So all even up at 1 each with not quite at the halfway mark of the first half.
Mao gets a big one, her 4th of the year. She has 5 points now on the season. A nice sophomore year for Minnetonka. That moves her up to 2nd place in the team in scoring. And a big one there. 1-1, the same score that these two teams tied at earlier in the season. That's where we're at right now in matchup number 2.
I have a feeling we haven't seen the end of the scoring in this match.
Trying to make it happen right now for Wayzata's Nickel. And she fed it over there and to Johnson, who pounded it off the uprights. Field goal post, which is out of play, obviously, and that will give Minnetonka the goal kick. And Lizzie Christ will get her foot into it, right into the possession of Wayzata, and then throwing it right back down to Christ was Kylie Schwarz. Haven't seen Schwarz too much ball possession out of her tonight so far. Seen her make a couple of great defensive plays. Summer Johnson coming down with it. Plays it to the near side, into the play. Comes Svensson, back to Johnson. Over there to Musser. Musser backwards. And into the heart of the Minnetonka defense, but the skippers were there. Now kicking out of bounds, there's Ellie Kroll, and that'll give a chance now for Wayzata to throw it in and get something going.
Trying to find an opening and finally sends it forward.
Johnson had it kicked away from her, out of play, so another throw in. This one quite a bit closer to the goal of the skippers. Svensson. Right back to Nickel. Nickel trying to buy some time. Tries a cross. This one makes it right through. All the way to the far side, nearly out of bounds. Running it down and keeping it alive was Rocca. Now Rocca will try her hand long shot, and Lizzie Christ comes out and makes the easy save.
Chris with a nice punt. And I think we got a foul called against Minnetonka.
Free kick Trojan.
Looked like it might have been Mao there with the contact.
Katie Schultz on the ball.
Katie Schultz will kick this one for the Trojans. Schultz, one of the top defenders for Wayzata. In fact, one of the fastest athletes in the state, according to the coach. One of the best track athletes around. Like to have great speed at soccer. It's quite an asset to have.
Oh, absolutely. If you get a breakaway, and then you can crank up the speed. Gives them a tremendous advantage. Minnetonka picking off that pass.
Allie Bakken with it. Bakken racing forward and then eventually hits the turf and gets a free kick out of it because she was defended a little bit too physically by Olivia Musser.
You see it again? Yep. You get the arm out in front of the other player, that's going to get called.
Free kick headed out of bounds now by Musser of Wayzata. Now another throw in for the skippers. It'll be Ollie Bakken's turn for Minnetonka. Into Mao. Mao played it forward, and Wayzata now controls. Oh, there was a foul called there on skippers. So free kick for Wayzata.
Schultz on the ball.
Schultz will put her leg into this one. Cross midfield.
And the back and forth battle continues with both sides trying to solve the other defense.
Race to the ball midfield, won by Thorson for Minnetonka, and then she plays it out of bounds right side. Throw in for the Trojans. Waiting for it. Summer Johnson up ahead, looking there for Nickel, a little bit too far. Skipper's control, play it back up to mid. Svensson pushed it forward backwards. Now they put it down to the defensive line of Minnetonka. Winning that battle was Thorson. Nice job again by the skipper defender. This one ricochets in off the head of Kelly, and controlling it will be Lizzie Christ. Bouncing ball there. After it goes Minnetonka. Nice job controlling it. There's Mao. Mao over to Lizzie, or rather Maggie Christ. Back to Mao in the middle. And Mao just couldn't quite catch that one cleanly while maintaining her forward progress.
She tried to turn with the ball and lost possession.
This one's going to be called out of bounds. So throw in for Wayzata, trying to keep it in on the near side there was Liz Endy of Minnetonka. Race for it. Here comes Johnson, and out of the goal comes Christ, winning that race.
And after that first goal by Wayzata, the Minnetonka defense has been tightening up quite a bit, not giving the Trojans free rein in their area.
Pass up ahead, Christ to Kroll. Kroll will go backwards for a moment. Bakken plays it upwards. And Schwartz controlled it for Wayzata. Plays it back to Svensson. Svensson with some speed across the middle. Svensson, two defenders on her, goes near side to Nickel. Nickel gets around one skipper. Now a second. Gets a left foot on it, and it's right there on goal to Chris. Nice effort by Nickel to get that shot off, however.
Didn't quite get enough speed on that. It didn't really have any trailing help either. Wayzata now with a shot deep down the field. And we're going to go back and forth. Kroll with the ball, sends it deep.
Kroll was looking for Stacken to take off there. Couldn't get it quite past the defender, but Volksberg scoops it up there for the Skippers. Errant pass looking for Kroll. And Wayzata controls. It's Nickel. Near side up to Eklund. Here comes Eklund. Eklund right off the skipper defender. And on a play, that'll give them the throw-in. It's Nickel on the throw-in. Finds Eklund. Now Nickel gets it back and again gets it taken away by Stacken. Good defensive help.
Well, they tried to do a throw-in, a short throw-in with a return kick, and there were three defenders just waiting for it that time.
Long pass up out of the Trojan zone. It's going to not make it all the way to the end line. So Minnetonka was forced to do something with it, and they kicked it out far side. So it'll be a throw-in for Wayzata. Over to receive that one is Eklund. Trojans getting control. Now it's Schwartz. Ahead for Eklund. Across the middle, looking for Nickel. Skipper's defense is there, however, and here comes Kroll. Kroll.
Offside.
Offside's going to be the call. As the defense for Wayzata
Offside Tonka.
up quite far that time.
Yeah, Mao was about 5 yards offside. Anticipating the pass, but just got a little bit too far ahead. Here comes the kick way down into the Minnetonka zone.
Good fight for the ball right there. Wayzata's going to come away with it. And then making a move into the middle was Eklund. Eklund was looking for some breathing room. The skippers were able to avert that dangerous situation. To the near side now, it's Svensson for Wayzata.
That was a good collapsing defense by the Minnetonka skipper. There's a good takeaway.
Svensson tried to split the D's, and Maggie Chris took it away.
Yeah, they had pretty good opportunity to get the ball down there, but they slowed down a little bit now. The Wayzata defense is back. As Dory scoops that one up.
Wayzata's defense just not allowed that through ball to make it all the way through. Their defense went up to the challenge of that. Near side, Bazzani plays it backwards. Now the kick forward. And there to get it is Mao. Up into the Wayzata territory. And Doherty will come out of the keep to get it. Doherty punts this one right to her teammate at midfield. It's Nickel. Nickel hasn't knocked off her possession. And they're going to say this one was actually out of bounds before that kick from Wayzata off the foot of Aaron Svensson.
Svensson now with the throw-in. Gets it right to a white shirt, and it's headed right back to Svensson. We'll do it again. So there was that. I think I got the wrong number. 19. Yeah, that is Svensson. Okay.
Now Nickel with it. Back to Svensson. Svensson upwards looking for Trojans. Both of them were there, but they couldn't control it cleanly. Here comes the skippers. Race for the ball on the near side. Nobody home there for Minnetonka, so Nickel will retrieve this one for Wayzata cleanly by herself. Now racing forward. She didn't have the right angle there, and catching up was Mao. Mao made it difficult for her. Now a good fight for the ball on the near side. Maggie Christ won that battle. But then we'll see a free kick upcoming here for the Trojans. Christ getting a little physical on the near side. Wayzata getting some control now in Minnetonka territory. This one wide and too far for the attackers of Wayzata. A goal kick upcoming for Lizzie Christ. Neither goaltender tested much here the last, I'd say, 10 to 15 minutes.
No, they've been doing goal kicks. Primarily due to some really strong defenses on both sides.
Number 16, Diana Dreyer joins the action.
And Diana Dreyer, a junior attacker, checked in for the first time tonight for Minnetonka. Back defensively to get that as Thorson for Minnetonka. Put it to Endy, who pushed it forward. Now it goes out of bounds, and it'll be possession Minnetonka on the throw-in. It's Bakken who tosses it in to Volksberg. Volksberg plays it up the right side. And out of play, throw-in coming up for Wayzata.
The pace has really slowed down the last few minutes.
Neither team has really had good, clean possession.
No, they haven't. They've not been able to move the ball as well as they want. They've had some miscues, and the defenses have just been solid.
A pass right there by the Trojans, classic example. Nickel was looking to the left side for some help and kind of put it with a pretty good pace in between two Wayzata players, and neither one of them handled cleanly Now Trojans gain control here. Near side, not able to receive that one was Johnson. Minnetonka will play an up and out, but now their ball will go out of bounds, so a throw in for the Trojans. Just over 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. 1-1 game. Wayzata scored the first goal.
Minnetonka here with an opportunity. They picked off that throw in and then just immediately set up their offense. Well, they had two forwards sitting out there and camped out in front of the goal area, but couldn't get the ball to them.
Off the foot of Nickel, this one goes out of play. Maggie Christ with it for Minnetonka. Actually, we have a stoppage.
Yeah, there was a substitution taking place.
Maggie Bizzani will throw it in. Nickel wins that fight for the ball for the Trojans and had it knocked away by Bizzani.
They collided with Bizzani and they both went down.
Nice position by Summer Johnson to receive that pass, but then taken away by Bizzani. Good defensive string of plays there by Bizzani, and a good cross pass there by Dreher. Volksberg with it. Volksberg trying to handle the ball through some defender. Now taken away. Now Summer Johnson racing after it. Summer Johnson, good speed into Minnetonka territory. She's going to be met by a defender.
Three of them.
Voids it off for now, but then eventually runs out of steam, loses the ball, and Minnetonka will kick it forward. Just not able to find the support there was Summer Johnson with all that speed. Ball gets played to the near side, and waiting for it there is Bizzani. She'll let this one trickle out of bounds for the throw-in. Volksberg, far side over to Kroll. Here comes Kroll with it.
Sends it up nicely to the far side. He's got two forwards that she can get the ball in, but that's been kicked out over the touchline to be a throw-in for Minnetonka.
Well defended by Katie Schultz. It's been hard to get anything going. Schultz playing that middle defender role as good as he can.
And you've also got Svensson back there marking the other forward.
Volksberg retrieves it. Kicks it right off the shin there
just
of Varaka.
Just under 3 minutes to go in the first half with Minnetonka on the offense.
I'd say Minnetonka, you know, has had some of the more, I guess, the longer possessions of ball. You know, Wayzata's had some attack time, but Minnetonka might have possessed it a little bit longer.
Especially in the last 12 minutes or so.
Waiting for it, there's Maggie Christ. Had it taken away. Goes up and out. And Bizzani with it. Bizzani's going to go all the way back to her keeper, Lizzie Christ. Lizzie goes up the near side, and falling down there is Dreher. And she'll actually get a foul call out of it. So free kick coming up for the Skippers. It looks like Liz Indy will take it for Minnetonka. And he gets some height on this one, not a lot of distance. And Wayzata's able to play it out, gain possession here. Go to the near side. Summer Johnson lost it right away. Bizzani takes it away.
Yeah, Bizzani came in flying from her position, sensing where the ball was going to be passed to, and created all kinds of havoc.
We're going to see a corner kick, actually. Have not seen one of these so far in this game.
No, looking over at our ace statistician, no, this is the first corner kick of the match.
And Dreher will take it. That ball was headed out of bounds and went to the end line. It probably was some time to push it out to the side, but here comes Dreher with the corner. Defended nicely by the Trojans, not really on target.
inside a minute left in the first half.
Here comes a chance for the Skippers, but very aggressive, and out of the goal came Doherty. Field that one.
Minnetonka still trying to put some pressure on, but Wayzata able to pick those off and get their own offensive going.
Not much time to get something going here. Let's see if Wayzata can do it. Schwartz with the control. Goes far side. And they end up turning it over. Volksberg gets it. Played it over to Maggie Christ. Now it's Kroll. Looking for the long lead pass. And Doherty comes out and hammers that one to midfield.
Yep, smart move on Doherty's part. That will end the first half.
And there you see it. These two teams have played 1.5 games of soccer this year, and they are exactly even. They tied the first matchup 1-1, and that's where we stand here tonight. 1-1 after half. We'll be right back in moments with first half stats and highlights here on 12 Sports.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
If you could see anything in the world, what would it be?
I'd love to see Paris.
I like to see cupcakes falling from the sky.
To save your vision in the years ahead, call your eye doctor for a comprehensive eye exam today. Then call 1-800-437-2423 or log on to seeabettertomorrow.org to learn about glaucoma and macular degeneration.
I just want to see more of the things I love.
Back at Minnetonka High School under the lights at the beautiful soccer and football stadium here in Minnetonka. Multiple sports taking place here. The youth football just across the way. Nice night for sports on a fall Minnesota night. And it's Wayzata starting out the scoring on this one. Shot on goal came from Kylie Schwartz, and finishing it off was Summer Johnson. Her first goal of the year, and for Schwartz, who leads the team in scoring her first assist. Nice little cross feed right in there, and the hustle play, and burying that one for Minnetonka was Ellen Mao, this sophomore, with her 4th goal of the year. That's where we stand, 1-1. There's your stats in the first half. Shots Wayzata, 7-4 advantage. On goal, a 5-3 advantage for the Trojans. Fouls, Minnetonka 4 versus Wayzata's 3, and only one corner kick in this game, and that one belonged to the Skippers. There's your score. We're knotted up at 1. We will decide this game when we come back right here on 12 Sports.
No matter where you live, life in the oceans depends on you. Do your part to keep them clean. Recycle and dispose of trash properly. To learn what you can do, go to keepoceansclean.org.
National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
And welcome back to Minnetonka High School along with Sig Lagri. I'm Joe Moline. And it is a late conference battle between the Trojans and the Skippers, tied up at 1 apiece. The defending state champ Wayzata Trojans against this year's top team in the Lake Conference at this point in the season, the Minnetonka Skippers. The Skippers trying to hang on right now for dear life to that undefeated record, and they fell down 1-0 in this contest, but battled back only about 8-9 minutes later, scoring their first goal and tying it up at 1 apiece.
So the payoff half will be in the second half, see if they can undo the tie. Looking at last year, the team split, each team winning at their home field. And as you were saying before, Joe, they tied this year at Wayzata.
Last year in the two meetings, Wayzata won 2-1 in overtime in a September contest, and then later on in the year, Minnetonka got their revenge. They won 2-0. They split their season series last year. Never ended up meeting in the playoffs, however. Minnetonka lost 2-1 in overtime to Hopkins in the section playoffs, and then just a couple of days later, Wayzata knocked off Hopkins in that section final.
Here's a corner kick opportunity for the Trojans.
First one for Wayzata. Ooh, and it looked like it was going to be a good chance there as Johnson got up to head it, but didn't get in the right direction. Now a turnaround, and firing there was Schwartz. Good chances right out the gate for Wayzata in the second half.
Just can't get anything uncorked. They just can't get that shot off. The Tonka defense is right there.
Talked about that Minnetonka defense, giving up only 4 goals all season, 3 coming into tonight's contest, 6 shutouts on the year. Wayzata's given up 4 goals on the season, 5 now counting tonight's game, so right on pace for that great defense. Also 6 shutouts, very comparable defensive statistics.
Yeah, both teams having solid defense. There's a high shot. Bounces past the goal area. And it's going to be a throw in for Wayzata.
It's Rocca on the throw in. Near side to Musser. Musser was looking for some help there, but now Tonka controls. And the Skippers will play it forward up along the near side. And waiting for it there was Svensson, who just booted it out of play, and now Minnetonka will get the throw in. Svensson's going to be whistled for a foul here. And a free kick coming up for Minnetonka.
Foul on the Trojans. This is the penalty on the restart for Minnetonka.
It'll be Liz Endy kicking this one for Minnetonka. Endy gets this one towards the net. Headed by one of the Skipper players. Coming down with it was Wayzata though. Race for the ball here. Svensson wins it for the Trojans. She played it up ahead to Kelly. Kelly couldn't control it. Now Minnetonka plays it right back to the defensive line of the Trojans. Coming down with it there was Cartet of Minnetonka. Now we have a whistle and a stoppage, and there will be free kick upcoming for the Trojans.
Katie Schultz now with a free kick. Sends that one well downfield.
Actually over the head of Isabel Anderson, one of the subs into the game here for Wayzata.
Out kicked the forwards and went right to the Minnetonka defense. Now trying to get past him again.
Nichols got some pretty good moves for the Trojans.
Sure does.
Goes some near side now to Rocca. Rocca back across the middle. Minnetonka gains control though, and it's Maggie Crisp putting it to midfield. Skippers come down with it. It's Kroll with it. Kroll taking her time. Gave it off near side to Bakken. Kroll gets it back now. Gets a nice little bounce ball up ahead. There's Cartret. And she has it knocked out. She'll handle the throw-in. Or actually, she'll give way to a teammate. And it's Bakken throwing it in. Down into the corner for Mao. Mao got run out there and will end up out the backside. So Corner kick upcoming here for Minnetonka. Their first of the second half, second of the game. Maggie Christ will take it for the Skippers. As soon as she's able to handle the ball down there.
Maggie Christ for the Skippers.
And Doherty got great position in there and came up with her hands and fielded that one cleanly.
That's exactly what you want your keeper to do on a corner kick. You get a beat on where it's coming in and then get right in there and bring it in.
Carteret now for the Skippers. Sends it across, but it's defended nicely there by Schultz. Out of bounds in favor of Wayzata. Trojans get a throw in. It's Rocca. Brings to Anderson. Anderson couldn't come down with it, and it's Kroll with it for the Skippers. Backwards to Maggie Christ, who plays it up to the defensive line. Tipped forward by Stacken, but played now by Doherty, the keeper.
Minnetonka with the pickoff.
Kroll with it.
Send it right back down to Doherty.
Not able to find that space beyond the defenders, but in front of the goaltender. It's been the difficult thing for each squad. Up the near side, Svensson. Now gives it back to Rocca. Rocca.
Trying to find somebody open. Now they finally switch field.
Reverse to that far side. And it's Eklund down into the corner for Anderson. Anderson played it forward, looking for some help there. Didn't have the support. And the Skippers will kick that one out along the far side. So a throw-in coming up for Wayzata. And inbounds it comes to Eklund. Eklund trying to get away from a defender. Still trying to get control. Then she lost it and fell down as well. Away with it comes Maggie Christ. Maggie will push one down the near side. And out of play it goes. Narrower field here at Minnetonka High School compared to Wayzata, and that was said to be a factor in this contest, Sig.
Well, it has two effects. One of them, actually three effects. One of them is typically on a throw-in. You can get the ball further, obviously, in towards the net area. The other piece of it is you have a more confined area, whereas teams like Wayzata is used to the wide open, in a larger field. They can move the ball around better. And then the other piece of it is the corner kicks. And that's probably the most difficult one to figure out because teams like Wayzata is used to a long corner kick. And in this field, it becomes a short one. So it does take some adjustment.
Now, sometimes with the smaller field, you see perhaps maybe the passing game lacking a little bit more because the defenders are tighter on you.
Exactly. You want the bigger field because it's more open and you have more room to manipulate in. You can work your passes better. You can switch fields better. On a confined field, this you're about 5 yards tighter on each side. It's a little bit more. It's a little tighter for you.
Summer Johnson turned to fire a shot. It went off a Skipper defender and out along the back line. So a corner kick up and coming for the Trojans. They're second now of the half and in the contest.
And we'll see how this one works. On this field, they tend to be long. This one's right in the center, headed.
Oh, off the crossbar. And coming out and fielding that one was Lizzie Christ. Ooh, something's happening here with the official, but we'll take a look at the replay first.
There's a header, here's a stop.
Oh, I see. Went off Chris' hands and off the crossbar. Went out of play.
That's another corner.
Another corner upcoming for Wayzata. Second chance. Marika Kelly will take it for the Trojans.
Officials doing a good job seeing that. As soon as they hit that crossbar, it was out of play. There's another one. Ooh. And Chris right there. Same thing that Doherty did on the other end. Get a beat on it, watch it come in, put your gloved hands up there and bring it in. Watch this. She's reading it all the way in. She's got it. Up and ooh. Gives a little ooh when she came down.
Katie Schulz, the last year All-State defender, was ready to head that one in had it not been caught by Lizzie Christ. It seems like Wayzata is riding a little bit of momentum here, even though, despite, I mean, there's no great scoring chances, but you know, this second half, there's something a little more spark in this Trojan team.
The momentum keeps shifting back and forth, but the overall momentum I'm seeing is with Minnetonka having just about a half a step up on them. Except for that last barrage, but let's see how they do now.
And this is Ellen Mao, who's been all over the place here tonight, having an excellent game so far and trying to create something again. There she just got kind of headed off, and good defensive effort right there by the Trojans, and just a strong effort. You saw the speed out of Katie Schulz defensively there.
And the smart play also by shielding the ball, giving her keeper the goal kick. Kind of reduces your risk of a turnover. Foul called against Minnetonka.
A little bit of a push and a quick free kick there taken. Wayzata was trying to push the pace a bit and went all the way up to the keeper, and then it was pushed out of bounds there by Lizzie Christ, so we'll have a throw in for the Trojans. Minnetonka controlling off the Wayzata throw-in, however, and dribbling and handling the ball a little bit there was Kroll, and then she lost possession. Then she got called for the slide tackle on the foul. Ooh, it's going to go the other way.
But the other way goes against Wayzata.
You take a look, I think Kroll actually thought she was going to get it, and it should have been on her. It's not the right call, but she kind of conceded that she got the foul.
Yep.
And then the referee went the other way with it.
Minnetonka trying to put some pressure on the Wayzata defense, but they get the ball out.
The play, Trojan ball on the throw-in.
And Svensson up again, looking for an opening and sends it downfield.
Anderson off the head. Over to Kelly. Marika Kelly finding some space, and then that closed in a hurry.
At 19, Elizabeth Endy came over there. Whoa, there's a rocket.
That one actually, momentum of Lizzie Christ kind of went back almost into her own goal after catching that one. Just kind of surprised by the velocity on that shot.
Yeah, that was a bullet.
Here comes a gust of speed now for Schwartz. Schwartz plays it forward, looking for Anderson on the near side. Couldn't connect. And away with it comes Volksberg. Up to Kroll. Kroll plays it through. And not able to do much with it there was Stacken. Or actually, that was Mao, rather.
That last shot was on the other side. I mean, that was just, I didn't even get the numbers. Was that Schwartz? We'll try and find out if that was just a bullet. That was high velocity shot. Minnetonka taking control again. Minnetonka's getting to the ball just a half a step earlier than Wayzata right now.
Roll gets it taken away.
That's going to be a foul.
By Nickel, and then she's going to call for the foul. This time it's going to be the right call, and they're going to give Kroll the foul.
You see it. Battle for the ball. She's running into her back, knocking her down. She was trying to get shoulder to shoulder, but didn't make it.
Wayzata player doing a good job of selling that one as well.
Absolutely. That's part of the job.
Bounce ball right there, right in front of the goal, and Minnetonka will get it out of trouble for the time being.
I mean, after all, everybody knows that soccer players are the best actors in the.
Oh yeah.
There's a miscue in Minnetonka turning around, but nobody else with her.
Mao looking to buy some time, look for some help, plays it forward. After it goes Stacken on the far side. Stacken back to Mao. Mao kind of boxing off her defender, looking there. Nice little passing play and wide open, but not able to connect as Keely Carteret played it high over the net. Oh boy, what a play by the Skippers though. You'll see Kroll gets it right here. Kroll in traffic, finds the open Skipper.
And then she just skies it. Yeah, she's disappointed. She's realized she should have.
She kind of aimed it.
Yeah, she was trying to go over the keeper, get a high shot, but misplayed it.
She wanted that. She gets that one back. She's going to want to just pound that soccer ball.
Right, exactly. Just give it a good hard shot. And let the keeper try and stop it. Good smart defense that time. Again, giving the goal kick to Doherty.
That's Katie Schultz, and she's the All-State defender from last year's team. And I'll tell you what, you can see why she made it All-State. There's a couple plays there where she just absolutely takes the running room away from the attacker, and then lets that ball just trickle out of bounds.
Right, and not just by sheer force, but
speed, quickness.
Good feet, yeah, good quickness and smart shielding the ball, making sure that you don't make any mistakes. This ball is bouncing back and forth. Now it's straight up.
Svensson plays this one forward into Skipper territory. And on the header was Isabel Anderson, and she got contact from a Tonka defender. You're going to see a foul call. Take a look at it here.
Here's Anderson going up for the ball, and then the elbow came out on number 20 off of Thorson. That's what the call was.
Kylie Schwartz will take the free kick.
Oh, nice arc. Oh, those are dangerous. Very nice shot.
Nice looking shot from Schwartz, handled cleanly by Christ.
Nice hook on it. Watch this banana ball. As it curves in. And Chris right there to bring it in. Those are tough for a keeper because there's that high ball with the curve. It's a little bit tricky to figure out where it's going to go. We have a foul called against Wayzata.
Free kick for the Skippers.
And Lizzie Chris will take it from Minnetonka. Nice job by Schwartz reading that one, taking that ball away, putting Wayzata back on the offense. However, this pass a little bit too far and a little bit too wide. One game, all the scoring in the first half so far. Plenty of chances, though, maybe more for Wayzata in this second half. A couple of corner kicks and the free kick you just saw there from Schwartz.
Yeah, they've had some good opportunities, just obviously not been able to cash in on them. Minnetonka's had a slight edge in ball control and passing in the second half.
Nice little move there from Kroll, giving herself some time. Takes the shot, pulls it back, and finds a streaking Maggie Christ, who played it to the middle looking for Mao. Now Mao with it. Defender draped all over her. Plays it near side into the offense. And this shot's right on target, and the save was made. That shot came from Allie Bakken, but Doherty was able to maneuver over and make that save.
And that's been the signature of this whole match with Wayzata. They've been very solid on defense, not giving Minnetonka any really good quality shots.
Minnetonka with possession. Kroll.
Good feed there.
And on goal is, and once again will be Doherty. Into Minnetonka territory, racing after it down the near side.
Wow, nice effort to keep the ball alive.
You saw a nice effort, a little bit of shove there at the end by Marika Kelly. Could catch up to that one.
So it ends up a goal kick for Minnetonka.
Lizzie Christ on the goal kick. Vogelsberg. Racing after it goes Ellen Mao.
And that's
off Mao now.
Yep, that should be a Trojan throw-in, and it is.
Near side, handled there by Johnson, and out of bounds again. Back in favor of the Trojans. Berta Hagnes will throw it in once again for the Trojans. Getting some playing time here in the second half. Johnson tried to leave it there for her teammate. Just a little bit too far. The Skippers play it back. The Wayzata end.
Good feed up the far side.
And the Skippers with a chance. Mao with it. Mao pushes it towards the goal. Couldn't get much on it. And Doherty out to play it. Under 20 minutes to go in the second half, regulation. Two teams are kind of fighting for that top spot in the Lake Conference.
And also trying to set themselves up for good position when you get into the sections. So a victory here by either team could play big.
Well, you got to think of with what Wayzata's done in conference play so far this year and what Minnetonka has done. Wayzata beating Edina 1-0, Hopkins 3-0, but did drop a game to Eden Prairie 2-1.
Right. So they have a slight advantage in the conference play.
Minnetonka undefeated in play, obviously undefeated in conference play. A win here for the Trojans would create a tie in the Lake Conference.
Of course, Minnetonka would like to see it go the other way. They'd rather go 8-0 and take a lead in the conference standings.
Well, even a tie here today would be better for Minnetonka than it would be for Wayzata. And of course, Minnetonka still has a second game against Eden Prairie, Edina, and Hopkins remaining in the schedule. But gives them a pretty big leg up on the Trojans in conference play, and then probably in section seedings if they are to get a victory here today.
Yep. And then they have a big game on October 6th when they take on #1 ranked Benilde St. Margaret's.
Yeah, Minnetonka plays Benilde St. Margaret's, and a nice little interesting matchup for Wayzata on their schedule is they actually play against one of the top teams in non-conference play. They play a top team in Class A, and that's Orono. A nice little non-conference match at the end of September to get them ready for playoffs as well.
And we have a player down on the field that's a Minnetonka player. Can't quite see who that is. That's number 6. That's Mao. Wow, they don't need her to be injured. She's had a great game.
Of course, the goal scorer in this game for the Skippers now down on the floor, down on the turf, injured.
But she may have a cramp. Those are the trainers working with the toe and the calf, so she may have just cramped up. I shouldn't say just. I mean, cramps are painful. There you can see the trainer working on the back calf. That's trying to loosen up the muscle.
Get a pretty good matchup after you watch this soccer game. Be sure to turn in later on in the weekend to catch a very exciting football matchup we'll be bringing you over the weekend, and that's Friday night's contest between the #1 team in the state, the defending state champs, Eden Prairie Eagles as they play undefeated Hopkins. A pair of undefeated teams meeting in another big Lake Conference showdown in football. So it looks like she's okay for the time being, walked off on her own power. She's going to head to the sidelines and continue to be stretched out by the trainer. So
yeah, they're going to work on that calf muscle, and I expect to see her back. I mean, it'll be pretty tough to keep her off the field because she wants to play, obviously, and she's had a great game so far, so they want to get her back on the field. And meanwhile, we have a drop ball.
Keely Cartrette will come in from Minnetonka. She's got some playing time in this contest so far, and she'll come in, a freshman attacker for the Skippers. She had a great scoring chance and didn't get much on the shot just a few moments ago.
This will end up the throw in for the Skippers, and we'll do it again. Just move it down 10 yards.
Kroll plays it forward. Cartrette after it, but it's knocked to the near sideline, and they're going to actually say this one just barely went out before Svensson was able to keep it in. So a throw in for the Skippers. And jumping right in front of that one was Svensson and intercepting, but then she kicked it right out. Let's do it again. Receiving that one down low is Kroll. Puts it into the middle of the defense, and Wayzata pushes it out.
That was a little bit high risk.
Here comes Schulz. Schulz plays it up through the middle. Trying to control it there was Thorson. Didn't get it cleanly. That gives Summer Johnson time with the ball. Summer Johnson playing it forward. Now getting it back on the give and go. Here comes Johnson.
She had a wide open shot and couldn't control the ball.
A little bit too far ahead of herself, but was able to keep control in terms of possession, giving it back to Kelly. But the Skipper defense got time to kind of regroup and catch up.
And they did it pretty fast, too.
Here's Nickel. She tried to push one through. Just missed Johnson on the back end.
Yeah, tried to get a redirect off of Johnson. Didn't connect.
Svensson will push it forward. A race for the ball on the near side. Won by the Trojans. Rocca.
And it'll be a throw-in for Rocca.
Nice defensive.
Good intercept.
Yeah, Thorson just jumped right around the Trojan to get it. Here comes Kroll. Near side to Cartrette. Cartrette gets it taken right off her foot. Good play by Svensson. Well, Svensson couldn't clear.
That was a great defensive play. Just picked the pocket, more or less.
Svensson along the near side with some speed now. Makes a nice move to get away from a Skipper. Now tries to back it up a little bit. Had it taken away.
That was Maggie Chris right there. And I think we're going to get a foul called against Chris for reaching around.
Yeah, the side judge actually made the call, getting the attention of the head official.
And again, that is absolutely the responsibility. You see it again. Here comes Chris. There goes that arm. And, yep.
Pretty easy call when you see that jersey get
when you see it that way. Yeah, and that's why you had the assistant referee watching for the sideline actions. There's Todd Anderson. He's the near side assistant referee. So Wayzata tries to track that one down.
There's Marika Kelly on the chase for the Trojans. Now Kelly getting physical down there in the corner, and this ball is going to stay in play.
Wow, I don't see how that stayed in play.
Skipper's played it out for a moment. Wayzata trying to keep it into that Minnetonka territory. Now here comes the Skippers with it.
Try to send it ahead, but it's a 1-on-3, and it's picked off by the Wayzata defense and sent right back up again. So now it's end-to-end action.
Getting on that 10-minute mark, the team start pressing a little bit more.
I think she tried to slow things down by getting it over the touchline, but Minnetonka got the ball back in play very quickly.
Svensson jumped in front of that ball, but knocked it out of bounds. Throw in for the Skippers. Defended nicely by Wayzata. Summer Johnson looking for some breathing room, using that right arm to shield off a defender. Gets that one taken away. Pushed down into the Wayzata territory. Race for the ball. Nice job getting to that one. But really not able to get much on that shot was Kelly Stackin, but great hustle to get there. Nickel pushed it forward. A little bit too far as Maggie Christ then kicked it ahead for the Skippers. Kroll plays it forward. Nice feed up ahead for Orlowski. Orlowski puts in the brakes. Nice pass into the middle. Stackin tried to give it back. Now Stackin pushes it forward to the D. Scholes tries to clear. Now on it is Cartridge. She can't control, and Wayzata will play it out. Nice defensive hustle there by Liz Endy to play it back to her keeper. And Summer Johnson comes down with it. Johnson tries to get around two defenders, couldn't quite do it. Schwartz comes away with it for the Trojans. Backwards to Scholes. Now Schwartz gets it back in midfield.
I'm seeing a little bit more intensity out of the Trojan side in the last few minutes.
Race for the ball here on the near side. Winning that race is Rocca. Over to Johnson. Johnson can't get away from Thorson. And Minnetonka's going to get possession here as Lizzie Christ handles it.
Christ with another booming punt.
Near side to Cartrick. Cartrick down the right side, running out of room, couldn't put the brakes on. Too well defended by Svensson. Seen that all night long from Svensson. She's been all over the place defensively.
Yeah, you've been calling her name a lot. She's been involved heavily on the defensive side and along the sideline.
Rocca pounds it forward. Too far for Isabel Anderson. Anderson chasing and almost catching up to it on the near side. Throw in for Minnetonka. And we had a substitution. Stepping out of the game right now will be Kelly Stackin for Minnetonka. Checking in for the Skippers is Diana Durer. We've seen her earlier in the game. Scholes plays it up to Schwartz. Schwartz gets away from the defender. The defender goes down, so does Schwartz. And
they both got their feet tangled, and I think the Minnetonka defense is going to be called for the foul. Here it is. Yeah, right there. Trips her. Not intentionally, but did trip her.
Kylie Schwartz with the free kick now for Wayzata. Remember, it's a little bit far distance right now, but she had that nice little banana ball you liked so much earlier.
Yep.
Here it comes again.
It comes again. Look at this.
For that backdoor feed. Header right in front there. Oh, and a chance.
Over the net.
By Isabel Anderson was sent just over the net. Good scoring chance for Wayzata.
Same thing. Schwartz with a nice banana ball right here. Curves it in. High. Right into the danger area. And then the battle ensues. And the kick was just a little bit too high.
A couple of things I'm learning, you get some of those chances, you always want to go for that upper corner, but when you're out and tight like that and there's not going to be the reaction from the goaltender, just get it on goal. You can't miss the net there, right?
Well, one wouldn't think so.
No, I don't mean you can't physically, from a physics standpoint, you obviously can. We've seen it happen.
We've seen that, a lot. I tell you, the adrenaline kind of gets into your body when you see that net and you want to take a shot at it.
Wow.
And logic and reasoning kind of leave the brain.
My hockey background, you always want to knock the water bottle off the top of the net. Some reason that shot in the upper corner just looks so good and feels so good, but tell you what, you pound one hard on the ground there and gets in it.
Right, and you also get the other opportunity of a rebound.
Yep. All right, crucial times here now. 8 minutes to go in this contest, at least in regulation. We've seen Wayzata push pretty hard here offensively, and to no avail. Minnetonka's defense strong as it has been all season long, keeping this game 1-1. Minnetonka's had its share of chances, but I think it's clearly been in Wayzata's favor in this second half. On the near side, Svensson just pushes it out.
Yeah, she wants to stop the play long enough to get her defense regrouped. And now she's attacking the ball. Kroll trying to get to the outside. It'll be a throw-in for Minnetonka.
Raka knocked it out defensively.
And Kroll will take it. If they can get a good throw-in, it's almost as good as a corner kick with a short field.
Not able to get anything going there. Avery Amorosi into the game for Minnetonka down there to help out. 22 for the Skippers.
We have more substitutions.
Keeping the legs fresh here late in the ball game.
Looks like number 3, Maggie Chris, coming back into the game.
Delaney Harnell, who checked in just briefly for the Skippers, steps out. Isabel Anderson sits down for the Trojans now.
Chris rejoins for Minnetonka. Maddie Eckler for the Trojans.
Here comes Kroll. A little bit too far of a pass there for Maggie Christ, who couldn't catch up to it. Now this is Nickel for Wayzata. Turns it over right back to the Skippers. Kroll with it. Kroll up ahead. There's the header, but not much on this one. Here comes Amorosi catching up to it. She's going to earn a corner kick with the hustle. Minnetonka with a crucial corner upcoming. 6 minutes to go.
Only the second corner for the Skippers. In the second half, they had the only corner kick in the first half.
Dreher will kick it for Minnetonka.
Again, try to keep it fairly low. It's headed out by the defense.
Kroll controls it on the far side. And watched by multiple defenders, kicks it into the middle. And now here comes a shot from Maggie. Maggie Christ trying to line one up there and just misfired.
Be a throw-in again for Trojans.
Is it on the throw-in, knocks out of bounds. Again, do it over.
Up about 15 yards and try again. And we'll try it one more time.
Oh, don't say one more time.
Okay.
This could happen many more times.
Again. Finally, Minnetonka clears it out, and then it's driven right back into the middle by Wayzata, right to the keeper.
Yeah, you know, and Madeline Eklund tried to come down with that a little bit softer, but just hit her hard in the cleat there and went right towards the goaltender. I think she was actually trying to catch that to see if she could get a shot off, but tough one to handle. Now she gets a second chance here. Eklund goes over to Nickel. Nickel in a one-on-one situation. Sometimes you like her chances. She's pretty good with the ball. Gets around one defender, but then she gets doubled up on the far side by Bazzani. And that ball goes out of play.
And that's what you have to do, is double her up. Because if you take her on one-on-one, you're not going to come up in a favorable position.
To the near side, race for the ball there. And it's going to stay with the Trojans on the throw-in. He's going to try to set something up here. Eklund.
That they're waiting for. Is there a foul call?
There must have been a foul call, yep. Indeed.
I was watching the wrong soccer ball.
Oh, there was the header chance. Katie Scholes, who they call out from the defensive position to try to those headers. She probably has one of the better verticals on the team. You can see her get up. Scholes been trying to get one of those all day long and just missed it. You can see a little frustration on her part.
Yeah, she knows she was in the right position. Just couldn't get that shot off with the header. It's a battle for the ball. Trojans come up with it.
Lizzie Christ out of the net. Get some good distance on that one. Doesn't matter though, Wayzata gets control here. And it's Kelly. Looking for Summer Johnson. Johnson trying to get loose. And got it kicked out off her foot. Not a play, but in favor of her Trojans.
2.5 minutes to go.
Shot towards the net. That one just went over the head of the Wayzata attacker. That was Marika Kelly looking for that one.
It was a nice cross.
Sorry,
yeah, just a little bit too far. That was
Eklund, rather.
Eklund trying to get to it. So Wayzata's got some golden opportunities, just not able to cash in.
Scholes on the header. Schwarz at midfield for the Trojans.
Sends it up, picked off.
Intercepted, handled there now by Kroll. Kroll finds Maggie Christ. Maggie pounds it to the defensive line of Wayzata. Handled there and push up the side by Rocca. Out of play goes. Skipper's throwing. 1.5 minutes to go. And Minnetonka with some substitutions. Amorosi and Dreher will take a seat.
Wow, that's interesting because they're taking a lot of valuable time off that clock.
And we never did see Ellen Mao check back into the game. She's in warm clothes over there on the sidelines. She's probably done for the evening and leads me to believe that it was probably more than a cramp. Could have been a pulled muscle. Of course, you can't tell the difference when you're up here.
Right.
When you're stretching on the muscle, whether it's a pulled one or a cramp.
Yeah, I've been looking for her to come back in, but I haven't seen her come in.
Cartrick caught up to that ball in the far corner and couldn't do much with it. Ends up in a goal kick for Wayzata. You're going to see Wayzata try to hustle here. Doherty doesn't get much on this one. In fact, not a very good goal kick at all.
That was a missed kick.
It was handled momentarily by the Skippers. Now Wayzata was able to bail their goalkeeper out a little bit there by pushing that one to midfield. Nickel chases after it. Ball finally comes down. Nickel surrounded by Skippers. Loses the battle there to Stacken.
20 seconds. We got to get it going fast. Oh, picked off nicely by Chris. Boy, she's been all over the place in this match.
Yeah, she's had a real good game.
And overtime looms big.
Here comes Bakken. Bakken sends it up. Catching it there is Kroll, turning, firing, and time will run out here. So, not surprisingly, these two teams remain locked for the season.
What a shock.
At 1-1. So, I said we would decide it after halftime in the second half. I've made you hang around. Now you really have to stick around for overtime action. We'll be right back after this break. It's Overtime Soccer on 12 Sports.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That changed my life.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. We're soldiers, always ready to protect our country. But we've also got communities. Family, friends, neighbors who count on us. I couldn't believe it. I just saved a life. Somebody from my hometown.
See what it means to be a citizen soldier at NationalGuard.com.
It's overtime. Girls soccer here on 12 Sports, along with Sid Leckery. I'm Joe Moline, and these two teams played a 1-1 tie earlier in the year, and there's a good chance that could happen again here this evening, and there's a good chance these guys could play again in the playoffs. And playoffs obviously a little bit different than regular season.
Yes.
You got to decide a winner in the playoffs.
Right. You don't in the regular season. They play 2 5-minute sessions. There was no golden goal. And after the first 5 minutes, they switch sides briefly and then start the second part of it. And if it's tied at the end of that, then the game is officially a tie. And as you were saying earlier, Joe, that tie really is a benefit to Minnetonka more than it is for Wayzata.
Not so much a sudden death overtime. This way it's more sudden life, sudden, not so sudden. You get a little chance of victory, but then you got to go defend your goal a little bit.
Yep.
Wayzata on the throw-in. Svensson. Forward, but now Minnetonka controls with Maggie Christ. Having a great game tonight for the Skippers. Maggie Christ, only a sophomore, folks. You're going to be seeing a lot of her in the coming years.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with her play. All over the field, attacks the ball, marks up really tight, has good ball control. And then we have Schwartz.
Schwartz playing around the ball a little bit, trying to get away from some Skippers. Needing some support now. Finds it on the far, or near side rather. Went off a Skipper, I believe, and out of play.
Yep.
So
Roka now with the throw-in. Trying to get the return pass to a Wayzata player, and finally does. Svensson.
Dribbling, buying some time. Plays it wisely to her partner in crime, Katie Schulz. Schulz pounds one down. Here comes a chance. Race for the ball. Out of the net was Lizzie Christ to play that one into the air.
That was just a race to the ball, and Christ wins that one.
Summer Johnson was on the race for it.
She was on the hunt, on the prowl.
Throw-in coming up for Wayzata. Trojans continue to really push it a little bit here in overtime, continuing the momentum that they had late in the second half.
Let's see if they can continue that momentum.
Schwartz gets it back on the throw, but she was out of bounds when she kicked it. She threw it in and forgot to step back in bounds.
Oops. A little poke. Try to get it off the Tonka player, but didn't get away with that one. Here's Svensson guarding the ball. Boy, she has just a great defensive knowledge. I mean, she just really has an awareness of what's going on. Schwartz again sends it down the field.
Out of the net comes Lizzie Christ. Plays a high into the air along the near sidelines. Ooh,
there was
good contact there. Schwartz headed it.
And then right after, ran right into Bazzani. And Bazzani got the worst of that one. She just fell right down to the field.
Here comes Schwartz dribbling under some duress, although not acting like it. And she used a little bit of hip action there, and now Schwartz gets called for it.
That time, with one hip check too many.
She could have got rid of that ball a little bit sooner there and wouldn't have been under the dress she was.
Yeah. Instead, it's a turnover on the foul. Minnetonka now with a great opportunity, about 50 yards out.
Trojans out with it. Eklund for Johnson.
Yeah, couldn't quite connect. It'd be a throw-in for Trojans.
Bazzani knocked it out of play.
Under a minute to go in this first 5-minute overtime session.
Nickel. Bouncing ball in the open space. Scooped up by Kroll. Up over the top of the Wayzata defense. Schulz kicks it high into the air to her own keeper, Doherty.
Yeah, Doherty wisely just punches it out with her foot.
Far side race for it. Nickel knocks it off the Tonka player and out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for Wayzata. Time winding down here in the first overtime as the kids at the stadium count it down, and that does it for the first overtime. Now we switch sides and we do another 5 minutes.
And no break in between.
Quick little huddle there at midfield, and you know, in this situation, Sig, you're trying to score, you want to get the victory, but you don't want to sacrifice a potential defeat.
Right.
by being too aggressive offensively.
Right. You have to be careful on defense, because if your offense falters and the other team has a good transition, you could be in trouble. So now it'll be Minnetonka going from right to left. They get the kickoff. Sends down the left side, a little bit too far, and it's going to be over the end line for a goal kick.
And the goal kick for the returning goalkeeper, Mara Doherty, defending state champion. Some say the female version of Ryan Vint.
I remember that, yes.
I have to drop his name. I actually work with him now, and I
told him
I promised I would drop his name in this broadcast tonight. He's a proud Wayzata soccer alum and former state champion in Mr. Soccer.
Yes, I remember many times admiring his capabilities.
And he went on to play soccer at the University of Wisconsin. And
Badger guy.
And that's actually where our top Wayzata player is going. Carly Schwartz next year. He's going on to Madison.
Well, that's good. That's my state.
That's your state.
Yeah,
I feel.
I live in Wisconsin.
My sympathies to you.
I resemble that remark. It's a tough one because I'm right across the border, so I cheer for the Gophers and I cheer for the Badgers.
Oh, you never lose, do you? Yeah.
No,
it's been easier to cheer for the Badgers, at least in football.
Well, yeah, they've got a fantastic football program. Basketball team's pretty good too. I like the Gopher basketball team the last few years. They're turning things around.
Of course, to a lot of our top soccer players probably gravitate towards Madison without the U having a men's Division I program.
That could be a factor. Minnetonka now trying to get their offense untracked.
Here come the Skippers. And the Skippers in good position right now to still come away from this game without a defeat this year.
Yes, they are.
Pretty nice record, especially since this completes their first game on the second half of their regular season conference schedule. So they're getting deeper into the season. Here comes a chance for the Trojans. A little bit too far for Summer Johnson. Nice aggressive play by the keeper, Lizzie Christ.
Yeah, she's going to feel that after the game. But that's taking one for the team when you slide like that.
Nice aggressive defensive play by Liz Endy to push the ball forward off the header. Schulz has her pass intercepted by Maggie Christ, who pushes it down to Doherty.
Doherty decides to punt the ball. And Wayzata trying to set up their attack. But they're taking too much time. You got to get to size up the ball. At the pace that they're going, you're only going to get one touch or a two touch, and that's it.
Under 2 minutes to go now. Ball will go to play. Oof. Nasty little spill there on the far side. As Dreher went down pretty hard. She appears to be okay.
And we'll have a free kick from about 55 yards out. 117 and counting. Oh, they moved it back. Now it's 60 yards out.
Now this is out of Blair Walsh's range.
1 minute to go. And Minnetonka with an attack going here.
Ooh, it's going to be a throw-in for Tonka. So here it comes. Dreher and the Skippers. One last push, perhaps. Kroll with it. Back to Dreher. Trying to center it. Goes a little bit too far for the Skippers. Chasing it down on the near side. And having it knocked out of bounds off her foot was Vogelsberg. So Tonka's going to get a throw-in. Vogelsberg trying to hurry now. Her throw-in gets intercepted. Oh, there's a ball sitting out there in the middle for someone to come get. Oh, there comes a nice pass into the middle. Not a good chance to shoot, though. Here comes Vogelsberg. Now back. Sending that one toward the net was Bazzani. And Minnetonka just couldn't get the good shot off. They had some chances to get a shot off.
Couldn't pull the trigger. It's going to be a tie again, unless we get a miraculous shot here.
Doherty making it interesting.
She made sure that wasn't going to happen.
Made it interesting at the end. So, Minnetonka and Wayzata in the big rematch, they do the same thing all over again. They tie 1 goal apiece. These two teams potentially could face each other in the section playoffs. But on the year now, what it means for each squad, Minnetonka remains unbeaten on the season. They move to 7-0-3. And for the Trojans, they go to 6-2-2 on the year. That's your final tonight. Well, for the entire crew here at Channel 12 Sports and Sig Ligry, I'm Joe Moline. Thanks for watching this production of 12 Sports.